Very good evening, friends. First thing first, is my screen visible and is my voice audible? Yes, good evening. Yes, thank you. Thank you for your confirmation. See, today it is 27th, right? I will try to complete the entire ethics within next 2 days. By 30th December, we'll complete it so that at least uh, you people will be quite sure about how to go ahead with ethics. That will be the first thing. And the second thing will be you can practice for 10 more days after January also, right? Slowly we'll discuss something about essay writing. My goal is if you people, at least by Sankranti holidays, if you people are able to complete substantial portion of syllabus from optional, the second one is ethics and essay writing, more or less, you'll be through the game, right? Substantial portion of mains means optional means many people are in line. They are calling me and they are messaging me, sir, our work is very fine. So few people are able to complete it by January 5th also. That is highly appreciated. But those who cannot do it by January 5th, take some more time, right? Try to complete. Uh, Try to complete, as early as possible. I said three things which determines our rank is optional, is one paper that we have to focus on. The second thing is ethics and essay writing. I have initially asked you to complete it by January 5th. If you are not able to complete it by January 5th, take some 10 days time extra until Sankranti. You wind up the things by January 15th because our mains this year is in January 9th. So substantially, even if you are in that line also, I am very happy for that. If you are able to complete by the time we are done with the mains, that is completely fine. So that after that, we'll exclusively give it to the prelims. That is the thing. Now, optional, many people said that they are in line. That is highly appreciated. And few people said we'll complete within January 5th also. That is really a great thing. Some people are finding very difficult to complete optional. What I suggest is if you are not able to complete optional totally, some people were posting in the group also, sir, how to complete optional, what is the strategy? I said optional strategy is only one thing. See, let me tell you a few issues. People are asking me, sir, whether to write notes of ethics or write notes of essay writing or optional. What I say is, if you have the time to write notes, prepare some crisp notes of optional. Don't put your time and energy in preparing notes for ethics and essay. No, ethics and essay, the more you write, the more you will be in traction. That's it. You will get high score even if you do not have the notes, provided that you are consistent in writing. That is the first thing I wanted to say. So optional, you have 5 strategies. One strategy is ensuring, keep syllabus with you. I said this again and again. Keep syllabus with you and check whether the notes you have covered everything in the syllabus or not. Notes should have covered everything in the topic, everything in the so-called topics in syllabus. That is the first thing. The second thing that I wanted to say is, if there is some pending in the notes, fill up it as early as possible. How to top it up? By searching in Google or getting some notes from a friend or anyone from the market, right? No need to write again. Once you do these two things, read each chapter and prepare a crisp notes after each chapter or each topic. You do for entire paper like this, paper 1 and paper 2. After this, what you have to do, go through previous year questions and check whether uh, your previous year questions or your crisp notes is able to meet the demand of this previous year questions. If your crisp notes is meeting at least 70% of the demand, then that is completely fine. If it is not meeting, top up again the crisp notes for the questions that you are falling short. Fifth thing, your crisp notes becomes main notes. Fifth thing is practice writing answers. These are the 5 strategies that I said initially 3 months before. Now what I wanted to say is, after this I said, after prelims, you can go and write some mock tests in the market. So these are the 6 steps that we have to prepare for optional. Few people are well within this line and they are doing it regularly. For those who are not in line with this, what I wanted to say is, at least ensure that you first do this thing. Those who have not yet started optional, or those who are feeling very difficult about the optional, what I wanted to say you is, at least make sure that you have gone through your notes and you have checked it and you have filled up the topics that are pending, and prepare crisp notes. If not for the entire one, prepare at least for one paper or 1.5 paper. You do this. The rest of the one paper or half paper you can do after prelims, right? As early as possible, do it. Don't waste your time. Until these 3 points, at least you try to do it. You have less time, do it. That is the reason why I asked you to prepare optional or focus on optional, right? The next one is about ethics. As far as ethics is considered, I said don't prepare any notes. If you have prepared, that is quite well. Now don't start preparing notes. Ethics is all about making sure whether you know each and every topic in the syllabus. Syllabus should be in our brain, right? It should be rotating. After that, you should be knowing how to write the answer for ethics for every topic. That is the thing. So you practice writing, and for essay writing also, you should know the strategy to write. These 2 papers are very easy. No need to study anything, provided that you are reading daily current affairs. And the thing is, you have certain fair idea about each and everything in the syllabus. For optional, you require that need to do some work, right? So by January 15th at max, I'm saying, first I said until January 5th, by at least January 15th, you complete this. This year, make sure that you prepare for prelims at least 4 months or 5 months exclusively for prelims. Otherwise, the effort that you keep, if you don't clear prelims, that is going to be waste. Whether you study mains up to February or March, I don't personally recommend you to read until March or until February also. Because once you do these 3 things, that is called, anyways, you people are doing ethics reasonably well. Essay writing, I am quite sure after seeing your ethics answers, essay writing, if you get the momentum how to write, you can really get it. Optional, I hope you will be doing it. If you are not doing it, take some more time, complete it by January 15th. At least one paper or 1.5 paper as early as possible. Now after that, what you have to do is you have to focus on prelims, because the rest of the things, GS paper 1, GS paper 2, GS paper 3, it won't take, believe me, it won't take more than 10 days to complete these 3 papers. GS 1, 2, 3, it won't take time at all. Whatever the mains time you will have between prelims and mains, that is more than enough for mains. So don't worry about mains if you do these things. By January 15th or after Sankranti, make sure that you are starting for prelims. 4 months exclusive prelims. This time it has to be in such a way that it has to clear. That should be the strategy. So go with that tempo. Don't think that I'll give 2 months for prelims, I'll give 3 months for prelims. No. Consider this is your last attempt. I have been saying this from a long time. Consider this as your last attempt and give 4 months or 4.5 months, if possible 5 months exclusively for prelims. Sit from the morning to night only on prelims. Solve some 60 question papers at least. Go with some qualitative papers, right? That we will discuss. But by January 15th, make sure that you will be winding up the so-called mains. You keep it aside after January 15th, after Sankranti, mains should not come into our line. You should keep it aside totally. Again, I repeat, you should keep it totally aside. Those who are writing in 2022, keep it aside totally. And then we'll focus on prelims. Once prelims is done, the rest of the time that you will be having between prelims and mains, you can easily do it. That is what I wanted to say. So as I am getting calls, sir, how to go with optional? This is how you have to go with the optional. If you are not doing this, then please check whether you are doing this or not. If you have not yet started, don't worry. If you have not yet started that, if you are going slow, don't worry. You have time. Take some 15 days. On today it is 27th. Maybe you have 4 more days plus 15 days, 19 days, approximately 20 days that you will be having. Sit exclusively for optional. Sit and study. You can do it, right? At least one paper you finish here. No, if you are unable to prepare 2 papers, at least 1 paper. That too, how you have to be, make sure that in both papers you have syllabus and everything. Once the notes you have, preparing the things is very dead easy. So don't worry about it. So this is how you have to go. Anyhow, after Sankranti, go ahead with prelims. That is what I wanted to say. Now, speaking about today's topic, I hope you got some clarity. I have got some calls also, making people asking me, sir, how to go ahead with optional. That is why I said. I hope you got. Is there any question in preparation so far? Huh? Yes. Okay. Good. Now, today let me go ahead. Some newspapers not helping in covering economics. Naveen, see, economics is one topic. Are you speaking for prelims or mains, Naveen? Okay. See, let me take 2 dimensions of economics now. Let's see at the mains concept of economics. Now, if you look at the mains concept of economics, particularly, economics don't go, or the questions in economics don't go with the current affairs. Rather, that is what I'm saying. Economics in UPSC mains, it won't go with the prelims, go with the current affairs. Rather, it goes with a certain theme line. That is, they will be giving you some topics. If you are having content about the 10 topics in economics syllabus there, more than enough. No need to study any current affairs about economics. As far as mains is considered. As far as prelims is considered, yes. If you look at the questions that is being asked in economics, I said this when I'm discussing current affairs of economics. Economics current affairs will be a mixture of both static and current affairs. Say, for example, today RBI, if you have gone through the Hindu newspaper, there is one theme which says that RBI is ready to give that retail investment. Look at this is today's current affairs. Hindu, right? This is Hyderabad edition. See, the only place where you find economic news is in the business page. That too, you have to focus on only those things which the government is or which the RBI is clearly mentioning it. See this one. Log on to, this is money wise, this is today's Hindu, and this is the news. Log on to government securities with RBI's retail direct. Now, this is the potential area. This year, I'm expecting a question from this part, particularly from prelims. Pakka, there will be one question as per my understanding. Why? This is the initiative of RBI. This is something which is related to a very, very drastic move or a very novel concept that is allowing the people to invest in government securities. Earlier, people were not allowed, it is only the banks. Now, here, what are the types of questions that they might ask? Now, I am saying, unlike your quality, economy, we judge or we fail to judge which type of questions they are asking. Why? Because polity, we might have read many times. We know, okay, these are the questions that UPS has. But economy is one area where we will not have particular source, not only for current affairs, but even for our static part. Even for our static part, we will not have a defined source like Lakshmikant. That is the first drawback of economics. And the second drawback is Lakshmikant, we have read many times, 10 times, 12 times. So we will know, we will immediately connect, okay, this is related to this. But if you look at economics, particularly the business page, it is very difficult to find out whether what exactly they might ask. The reason is we will not have that much grasp on economics as we focus on polity. And second thing, this page, many people won't focus at all, particularly the money wise page or the so-called business page. We don't even look at these pages. For example, today economic page, look at the Hindu. Indian government has imposed anti-dumping duty on China on 5 goods, right? Now, people won't even see that at that. Let me show you that. One second. Anti-dumping duty on 5 Chinese goods. This is one potential thing. Now, when we read it, we miss it. The only thing is, if we are quite alert on what are the things that are in the newspaper and what are the things that is related to economy, then we will get. Now, what are the questions in this two? The questions in these two are, look at this point. Many people won't read this, but there will be one particular question. Sodium hydrosulfide. No, that is something which is related to science and technology. Again, I am speaking about economics, right? Now see this. Log on to government securities with RBI's retail direct. Now, what are the questions that they might ask? The first question that they might ask here is, what are the types of markets? You have money market, capital market. What are the instruments in money market? And what are the instruments in capital market? Next one, this is one area of potential question from this today's newspaper. From this article only, I am saying what are the things that this article has for prelims. They might ask, what are the different types of markets? Money market, capital market. What is the difference between it? In money market, what are the instruments? In capital market, what are the instruments? This instruments varies for government. This instrument varies for corporates. This instrument varies for financial intermediaries like banks. Similarly, government instruments varies in short capital market, it varies for corporates, it varies for financial intermediaries. For example, previously they asked a question on treasury bills in the year 2014. Now, treasury bills is one concept which is related to this from this, right? Now, similarly, if they might ask a question like participatory notes, or they might ask promissory note, which type of instrument it is and to which it is related. Last year, they asked one more concept called government securities. Not last year, in 2009, I think. They asked on what are the government securities and which among the following are gilt-edged securities. Right? So here, the first point is money market, capital market, instruments that you have to know. And then you should know, this is first thing. Then you should know government securities, so far who are the players, and what is RBI's recommendations on this. This is one thing that might be asked. And third thing is, what is the exact details of retail direct investment? Why now we are allowing retail direct investors? Pakka, the question will be why we are allowing them today, right? What will be the benefits of retail direct investment? Now, third thing, this is the fourth question. Fourth question is, how far retail investors fare better than other small saving schemes of government? These are all covered in today's newspaper. Again, in small saving schemes, if you link, last year there was before this West Bengal elections, we discussed this. There was one news related to small savings scheme saying that Nirmala Sitharaman announced some changes in the small savings scheme interest rates, but this year they have corrected it. Now, what is the benefits of small savings scheme compared with this retail direct investment? That is the next thing that you have. Next one is it is directly related to something called shares versus equity bonds, in which you have to collect or in which you have to keep the amount. Now, if you look at this, these are the types of questions that probably might ask. In this, if you look, there are 10 to 12 prelims potential questions. The only thing is, we don't know exactly when we are reading economy as such, we don't read to that depth. That is the first problem, unlike polity, right? Because this is something related to government securities, this is something which is related to share market, but we think that it is not at all relevant. But if you look, there will be particularly one or two questions in every prelims regarding to RBI's moves, and this is the potential question, like RBI's retail direct investment. Look at the previous year question. There are questions on markets that I have written, there are questions on government securities, there are questions on small savings schemes, there are questions on shares on bonds, and also this is something which is related to your inflation control also. So this is one thing. Look at the second article, that is called anti-dumping duty. The question is, they don't ask you on which items anti-dumping duty is imposed. Might be, probably, as you said, they might ask something like sodium hyposulfite or anything for science and technology. They don't ask in economics. In economics, at max, they will ask here something which is related to WTO norms. What is the so-called free trade agreements under WTO, and what are these anti-dumping duties? So this is the second thing that they might ask. Yes, the number of questions that you see in the Hindu are less in economic front. In the economic side, if you go, it will appear very less. The reason is we don't particularly focus on economic page itself. But if you look economics page, definitely there are some good number of articles. So try to focus on business page, then link up with the economics articles. Then you will come to know, okay, what are the things that they are asking and which is very important. Okay. For mains, no need for economics as such. Studying mains dynamically, that doesn't give you much benefit, because if you go by paper wise, topic wise, that is completely fine for economics. But for prelims, yes, you have to read between the lines in between these pages, which we almost neglect. That is the business page, like the money wise page, right? We won't even see at it, but there will be potential questions there. So that is how they ask. And again, let me reiterate the point. They are not going to ask direct to question. They will link the thing which is related here. They will link the static component with the dynamic component. Look at the previous year questions. They will directly ask, what are the benefits of direct retail directing, or how it is advantageous that rather than allowing only banking sector, right? So these type of questions will be there. Hence, you have to read these type of articles very, very exclusively, or we have to be very careful in these type of articles. The only problem while we are reading is we don't see them. That's it. Otherwise, they are present every day also. Is there any question? Did you get it, Naveen? Yes. Or else you can do one more thing. There is one website called GK Today. These days, insights, vision, they are getting traction. But the thing is, GK Today is something which has certain relevance for current affairs. If you are interested, you just have a look at GK today. They will give you different segments, economic segment also separately. Go through that. That will also be very helpful. They give the content to the best. I have not even seen even in Insights or Vision in the way GK today gives. So if you want, you can follow that GK today segment economics, right? That will be more helpful. If you are unable to dissect the things here, go there and look at that page. Is there any other question? Yes. So let me take the so-called, I hope we understood whatever it is in red page and red ink and green ink. So let me go to the concept of one thing that I wanted to discuss where you can write for the answers is Code of Conduct for Civil Services, 1964 Code of Civil Service Rules. I wanted to take this chapter particularly. The reason is this will be very helpful while you are writing answers from the civil servants perspective. What are the things that they are allowed to do? What are the things that they are not allowed to do? Right? This is a summary. They always has to uphold the dignity of the office, maintain intellectual integrity and absolute integrity. So these are the few points that I have taken from the code itself. They should be open to diverse opinions. They are not allowed to take any costly gifts or pleasantries. Do not exchange any costly gifts if you are becoming a civil servant. You have to maintain not only your integrity, but ensure that your subordinates are integral. You should not indulge in any sexual harassment of your subordinates, right? You should not associate with any political party, right? You are not employee, you are employer. Remember that whenever you become IPS or IAS, don't think that you are an employee of central government. No, you are the employer. So you should not do strikes. This is again given in the code itself. You should not divulge in sharing the secret information. You should not accept dowry or you should not give dowry, and there should not be bigamy, right? That should be the thing. So these are some essential qualities or code of conduct summary in 1964. These are the few things. Now whatever I say, that is an explanation of these things. Now what is this code? Code is something, the things which are legally correct might not be morally correct. The things which are morally correct might not be legally correct. So in order to overcome this dilemma, whether it is legally correct or whether you should follow legal things or moral things, right? Whenever you are doing an action, in order to overcome that dilemma, every organization will have certain codes so that you can take an immediate action. That is why codes of conduct is present. In order to overcome dilemma, whether legal things should be given importance to morality or moral things should be given importance to legality, you have codes. That is why it is there. See, that is, I have given some examples, leave about examples. Morality and legality are two conflicting views at sometimes, right? Robin Hood type, plunder the wealth, distribute to the poor, morally right, but it is not legally correct, right? A woman jumping from the top floor, you are seeing it and you didn't stop. She committed suicide, you are not arrested, right? She has jumped, she has committed suicide. You are not liable for her action, but you are just seeing. That is legally correct. That is, they don't arrest you for not stopping her, but inside you will feel dull, right? That is morally incorrect. So these are the examples. So first thing is, what is the difference between the so-called law and morality as such? Law is something which emanates from authority and needs authenticity. This is very important. Law always emanates from certain authorities and needs some authenticity. How you get authenticity? You get through the people's backup or people's backup, right? If people is backing up the authority, then you'll get that authenticity. So laws always have that authentic power, right? Whereas your morality It will not have that authoritative voice that is missing in the morality. However, morality cannot be confined in a single spectrum. It comes from inner call rather than a document, right? Men tend to follow certain moral rules irrespective of enforcement and sanctions. Laws have enforcement, whereas your morality doesn't have the so-called enforcement or sanctions. It is inner call. Again, you can write this as a difference for code of ethics and code of conduct, right? There is one separate topic in the syllabus, code of ethics and code of conduct. For that, you can write it. Excess of people are starving, morally saying share the food. Legally says no one can punish you for not sharing. Again, this is example. There is no legal enforceability if you do not share your food. But morally, you might feel guilt. That is the thing. So in these type of circumstances, you have certain things called code of civil services. The main tussle for a civil servant is uplifting legality and morality. Most of the times he would be in a ethical dilemma. What should be code of conduct? Is there any codes already codified? Are you understanding? There is something called code of ethics and code of conduct. Now the reason is laws will be conflicting with morals, morals will be conflicting with laws at times. In order to overcome that, then in this dilemma, what should a civil servant do? Is there any code that people should follow or which are already codified? Right? Yes. For civil servants, you have one such code in order to overcome that dilemmas. And what is this? Civil Services Code 1964. Now, the problem with this is, though they have written, they are not exhaustive. Not exhaustive means it is not encompassing of all things. Hence, there always required some unwritten norms, unwritten practices, which a civil servant must observe. Very important. This is the reason why they have given certain thing called consigns in the topic.